everyone. So, hope everyone is doing well. Thank you for watching this video. It is going to be, it's supposed to be up to 68 today. A little hazy. I can't say blue skies because it's actually hazy. But that's okay. So it's been a while since I actually told you guys a story on the way to the pantry, and so I figured I'd get back to that in case you want to hear the stories. If you don't want to hear it, I guess you can fast forward to when I come out of the pantry. Get on the main road here and we'll get to the story. Alrighty. So the story I'm going to tell you goes back to the late 80s when I was in the military. And I apologize, I don't remember if I've told this story before. So if I have and you remember me telling the story already, I apologize if I'm telling it again. But there are a lot of new viewers, so hopefully I haven't told it before. But this goes back to, I was stationed at Naval Air Station Miramar in San Diego, California. Miramar is where they filmed Top Gun, and Top Gun actually came out when I was in the Navy there in San Diego, but that's not the story. Oh, and I love that movie, by the way, Top Gun. Yeah, it sure was a big hype for the military folks there in San Diego. I'll tell you how much I love that movie before I actually get to my point, my story. So when that movie came out, Top Gun, there was a outside mall downtown San Diego at that time, here in the late 80s, called Horton Plaza. And if some of you are from Southern California, you might know of it. I don't know if it's still around, but it was basically an outside mall. And it had a theater, you know, restaurants, everything. Me and a friend of mine that I was stationed with used to go there all the time. We actually used to take a city bus from the base to downtown, and we'd spend like the day downtown, going to the mall, going to the movies, eating out, and just doing our thing, you know. So we went to go see Top Gun. It was a weekend. We went on Friday, and we went to see Top Gun. I think I was like 21 years old at the time, and Top Gun is a PG rated movie. I got carded. The person said I looked like I was 10 years old. They asked if my mom and dad was with me, and so I dropped my military ID. and the person's oh man, you look like you're 10 years old. So I took it as a compliment, obviously. And so yeah, I got carded to see Top Gun, a PG-13 movie. And during that whole weekend, I kid you not, this is not a lie, I saw Top Gun 9 times that weekend between Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's how much I love that movie. Me and a friend, you know. I went with a couple different friends a couple different times. They're all, you want to go see Top Gun? Oh, sure, let's go. Haven't seen it. So yeah, I saw Top Gun 9 times. But yeah, I was stationed, at the time the movie came out, I wasn't stationed at Miramar yet. I was stationed at San Clemente Island, there in San Diego. It was off the coast. We had to take an airplane. It's a little island, military island, and we had to take an airplane. It was a 30-minute flight to get to the island, so every week we were flying in and out. It wasn't until like I don't know, after I was done with that station, I got stationed at Miramar, which is where Top Gun was, and which is where the Blue Angels always did their air show. So yeah. Anyway, to my story, I was stationed at Miramar at the time this happened, and this is the night I almost died. So I was working second shift. I worked aviation when I was in the military. I was a ground crew for F-14 jets. My squadron was VF-124 gunfighters. They have been since retired, and Miramar, the last I knew of it, when they were changing military bases, Miramar was no longer a Navy base. It's a Marine Corps Air Station. I don't know if it still is, but years past, that's what it turned into. But anyway, I was stationed there, and what I did was pre-flight, post-flight inspections on the jets before they went off to their flights. I did scheduled maintenance inspections, and when you see all those guys doing hand signals to the pilots, I did that. I did launches, which means in one launch there were, like, for some reason I remember this number vividly, there were 64 hand signals to give the pilot before he took off. That meant putting air and electrical into the plane, doing sweep checks as the plane is turning, and I actually had to go under the plane while it was turning to remove locks from the landing gear and tie them back up. And so yeah, that's what I did. And I trained newer folks on how to do that. We were called plane captains. And I did spend 2 weeks on the USS Nimitz. At this time, again, this has nothing to do with my original story, but I just go off on a tangent. We were considered a training squadron for F-14 pilots, and so every year we spent 2 weeks in El Centro, California, at the Blue Angels, one of their seasonal bases, and we spent 2 weeks aboard a ship, an aircraft carrier, so the pilots can train to launch and land on an aircraft carrier. So I spent 2 weeks on the USS Nimitz. We took C9, Navy C9 flight to, I think it was McCord Air Force Base in Washington State, and then we were taken by bus to the aircraft carrier. And boy, are those things huge. You have no idea if you've never been on one. I did get seasick my first night. So they gave me that patch to put on my neck and whatnot. But anyway, so back to my story. I'm sorry I'm going off. And so I'm working, at this time I'm working second shift, which is like a 2 to 10 or 2 to 11 shift at that time. And at that time I was dating my ex. He was in the military as well. He was in the Marine Corps, and we had a long distance relationship. He was stationed in Kaneohe Bay, Hawaii, and I was stationed in San Diego, and he would come to San Diego as often as he could through military assignment and whatnot. I actually did fly to Hawaii to spend the weekend with him a couple of times. But so I was with my ex at the time, and he was on a military assignment, temporary assignment as a Marine to go to school. He was going to school with the Navy Seabees, which are Navy construction men. They build things in the Navy, in Port Hueneme, California. It's in Southern California. I want to say it's in the area of Oxnard, but I'm not sure. I don't remember anymore. If you all are from that area or you know of it, drop it down in the comments if I'm correct on that it was near Oxnard. But it was a Navy Seabee base, and he was flown in from Hawaii to do a temporary assignment there, going to school with Navy Seabees for a few months actually. So he was going to school there in Port Hueneme, which was outside of Malibu when you got on the Pacific Coast Highway. So he's in school there, and it's still a couple hours from where I was. So obviously the weekends we would spend together, but there were nights after I got off my second shift that I would drive there like at 11 o'clock at night. And one thing I did not like to do is drive at night because I became very sleepy. I always tried to have like sunflower seeds or something to keep me awake. And there was one night I got off work and I was really tired. I was so tired. And we were talking on the phone afterward. He called me at the barracks. I lived in the barracks at the time, and there was payphones. For those of you that are younger, look up what a payphone is. So he called me, and he wanted me to come up and see him that night. And mind you, it was only for the night because I would have to drive back the next morning for work, unless it was a weekend and I didn't have to work. But this particular night was a weekday, and I did have to work the next day. So he wanted me to come up. I really didn't want to because I knew how tired I was, but I gave in and I said, all right, I'll drive up there or drive over there. So, and I didn't bring my snacks to help keep me awake. Actually, no, I did, but I must have been so tired that nothing was helping me. And so I drive through, go through San Diego, go through LA, and I go through Malibu, California, and get on the Pacific Coast Highway coming out of Malibu. And when you do that, at that time of the night, it's empty, like there's no traffic, but it's very dark, there's no lights, and right next to you is the ocean, and you're driving where there's cliffs, high cliffs next to you, and some of the roadway did not have railing, and so I'm driving. I come out of Malibu, I'm on the windy dark road, and I'm sleepy. I'm falling asleep at the road at the wheel. And I should have just pulled over, but I didn't because I knew I was almost there. And I just wanted to get there and close my eyes for the night. So I'm driving and I'm sleepy, and I'm on this windy road with nothing but cliffs to my left. And I end up falling asleep at the at the wheel. So I'm driving and I fell asleep at the wheel. And this is I know God watches over us, but this night God was watching over me, because I fell asleep at the wheel, and for some reason I opened my eyes. I came out of my sleep and opened my eyes, and I'm heading straight towards the cliff. Like I'm about to drive right off the cliff into the ocean. And that was the scariest night of my life. My heart was pounding. So God was watching over me, because He opened my eyes just before I drove off, with enough time to turn the wheel. I literally turned the steering wheel so fast that the car spun all the way around on the road. And I just missed the cliff. So I'll get back to the story. I'm at the pantry now. I gotta go to the Walmart after this, so I'll continue the story when I'm out. I'll be back. Alright everyone, so I am out of the food pantry, headed back home. I was gonna head to the Walmart here on the south side of town, but I forgot to put Glenn's phone by him, and we always like him to have his phone by him, so if something's wrong I can go home. So I don't want to go inside Walmart and walk around knowing that he doesn't have his phone by him. So I'm just gonna head home and get him his phone, and then I'll probably just head to the north side Walmart. Yeah, we have 2 Walmarts in town here. So I'll just finish up my story here, and obviously I'll have a food pantry haul in a little while. Alright, so back to the story. It's almost over. So yeah, scariest night of my life. The night I almost died. And yeah, I was heading, when I opened my eyes, I was heading straight for that cliff. All I saw was the edge of the cliff. And the fact that I was awake enough to turn the steering wheel quickly, and the car turns around completely facing the opposite way. I don't even know what to say about it. Scariest night of my life. And I ended up just pulling over to gather myself again, and my heart pounding. I couldn't believe what just happened. But I mean, even if there was a guard railing, I probably would have took it out. But yeah, I pulled over and gathered myself, and then I proceeded on. And when I got there, he knew something was wrong, and I told him that I just almost went off the cliff. And I don't remember what happened after that, you know. It was my fault. I mean, yeah, he shouldn't have asked me to come there or push the issue of coming there, because I did tell him no, and he just kept pushing it. And after telling him how tired I was, he should have just not pushed it anymore, because then I never would have went. But my fault is I should have stood my ground and said, no, I'm super tired. There's no way I can drive for a couple hours right now. I should have said that. So I didn't stand my ground, and the other part that was my fault is I should have just pulled over before I actually fell asleep at the wheel. So yeah, that was the night I almost died, the scariest night of my life. And again, if I've told this story before, I apologize. But so that's my story. And the stories of my life. Alright, so I'm gonna head home now, and then I'll just head over to the Northside Walmart. But I will see you guys in a bit. Alright everyone, so I am at the Southside Walmart. On the way, Glenn called me, and he was able to reach for his phone, so I was still close enough to come to the south side. So I'm at the south side, but I wanted to show you guys friend mail that I received, or we received, and we received a beautiful sunflower card, and it says thinking of you. And this person, who does not want to be named, sent a Walmart gift card. So I'm going to go in and get the fur baby some treats. For the kitties, I'm going to get them some Fancy Feast. That's a treat to them because they don't like normal cat treats. And for Gypsy and Patches, I'm going to get them a bag of those chicken grillers. Those are the only treats Patches likes, is the dog treats. So, and they share a bag, so I take one chicken griller strip and I break off the top piece and break it into little pieces for Patches, and then give Gypsy the rest of it. So I'm going to get him a bag of that. They love that. Patches loves those. So thank you so much for this wonderful gift. The gift card has a beautiful picture of a bicycle with flowers. Thank you so much for this wonderful gift. It's so kind of you. So again, this person doesn't want to be named, but I love that card. That card is so beautiful. The sunflower. I love sunflowers as much as I love zinnias. So alright, so that's a friend mail. And I also received a postcard from someone, from Danette. I don't have it here with me, but thank you so much for thinking of us, thinking of me to send me a postcard from you being at the ocean. So thank you so much, Danette, for that postcard. I'm glad you enjoyed the ocean. And yeah, I haven't obviously been to the ocean since I left California, but I'm glad you got to go, and thank you for the postcard. So alright, I'm going to head into Walmart, get the fur baby some treats. I am looking for some star stickers. I know I can just print some out, but I know I'm looking for some star stickers for the 4th of July door hanging, the round wood sign that I'm going to do. I've got it out. I've got but I need some stars, so I'm going to get some stars. Alright, so I will get back to you guys. I will see you guys in a bit. Alright everyone, so I'm going to go through the morning food pantry and or the morning food pantry haul and show you what we received from there. So I'm going to start off over here with the canned goods. Oh, I've got some canned goods over there too, but that's okay. We got this can of pure pumpkin, so it's always good to have this in the house. We got a can of tomato soup. We got some Hormel chili with beans. We got a can of corn and a can of Green Giant sweet peas. We also got, okay, so I don't know where I was. The camera actually fell down, so we got a can of chili beans and a can of pinto beans. So we got some good canned good items here. And then we also got 2 of these Sunbelt chocolate chip granola bars, chewy granola bars, I think they are. Yeah, they feel like they're chewy. We got 2 cans of tuna. We got a box of Fruit Loops. This is a family size box. That's a big box. We got a box of Betty Crocker Super Moist Strawberry Cake Mix. So I think the choice was you could either have the cake mix. There were other snacks there too, but it was a box of cake mix or a pack of Betty Crocker chocolate chip cookie mix. So I went with, we don't hardly ever get the strawberry cake mix, so I went with that. But with that, you could. We also got the pink squeeze decorated icing, so you can actually make cupcakes and then squeeze the frosting on there. And we also got a bag of Knorr rice sides, chicken with broccoli, chicken flavor with broccoli. I like to eat that. And a jar of chunky 3 cheese pasta sauce. We also got some crackers, a row of Townhouse crackers. I love Townhouse crackers. I could actually just sit and eat them like that. I can sit and eat them like that more so than Ritz crackers. Ritz crackers, I have to actually be having something on it, like summer sausage and cheese or the crab flake spread I usually make. I can't just sit and eat Ritz crackers like that, but I sure can with Townhouse. So, got a full row of Townhouse and one of the mini rows of Ritz. I always like to have both. Did I mention the broccoli already? I don't remember. But we got 2 frozen packs of broccoli, chopped broccoli. It looks like it's stems and little miniature florets. So we got 2 of those. We also got another pack of these underpads. Those come in handy. And for the meat, we got this 2-pack of choice tenderloin fillets. So, and they're pretty thick. So that's, and you can see Gypsy looking out the window there. Say hi, Gypsy. Such a cutie. All right, so that is everything we received from the morning food pantry. And that's going to do it for this video. The second, the afternoon food pantry haul will be on the next video. So thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch my videos. I hope you enjoyed it. And thank you for all the support on the channel. And with that, remember to live life, be good to yourself, and be good to others. Until next time.